What is good, guys? Today, we're going to be talking about a team everyone loves, the Cleveland Browns. So, yeah, franchise that's under a lot of scrutiny right now. Jimmy Haslam, the Haslam family, the owners, they just gave Deshaun this past offseason $230 million guaranteed dollars after all those allegations were going around. Not only were the allegations going around, but he hadn't played in forever because he said even if the allegations weren't going around, he wasn't playing another snap for Houston, and Houston didn't want to deal him. So, yeah, don't think I'd do that if I were the Browns, but is what it is. So this Browns team, I like Baker Mayfield. I said that in the last video or a couple videos ago, whichever one it was, in the Panther video. That's when I discussed him. I like Baker Mayfield, but I do think Deshaun Watson, he's slightly better. So I didn't mind the trade. The problem is he missed all that time, so their season was screwed last year. I mean, it was basically over when he came back, and then he was rusty, so you didn't really get much production. Shout out to Jacoby Brissett. He was just living his best life. He knew he wasn't a starter, but he's playing pretty good, to be honest. Competent. That's all you can really ask for if you're the Browns. But I think the Browns finally have the GM right, Andrew Berry. I think they finally have the head coach right, Kevin Stefanski. He's a guy that never gets talked about, despite the fact that he won Coach of the Year in the COVID year 2020. But yeah, I think Stefanski's an offensive guru. I mean, I'd take him over Zach Taylor. Kind of a hot take maybe, but I would. I think he's not in the Shanahan-McVay class, but I think he's up there. He's at least a tier 2 coach. Same tier base as the quarterbacks. We'll get into that later. But yeah. And the frustrating thing is people don't realize this. I think the Browns have a really well-constructed roster, at least as of right now. I know they're going to lose Jadeveon Clowney this offseason. He's expressed that. Apparently they've expressed that too to him. Kareem Hunt probably leaving too. His production has declined heavily. You have Nick Chubb. You have a really good offensive line. You don't really need Kareem Hunt. And Kareem Hunt, he's getting old. Let's be honest. Running backs don't last long in this league. But I think you have a great offensive line. I think you have a legitimate number 1 wide receiver. He had over 1,000 yards, Amari Cooper. You have some depth at the wide receiver, tight end position. Harrison Bryant, Donovan Peoples-Jones, David Njoku, Nick Chubb, who I just mentioned. He's a running back, but still, he can catch. I've seen some plays. He's not going to go downfield, but throw a screen to him, slant route, something like that. Dominant generational talent pass rusher in Myles Garrett. Number 1 lockdown corner, Denzel Ward. I think their secondary is young and really good. Run defense with Jeremiah Owusu Koromoa. Maybe butchering that, but you know who I'm talking about, the Notre Dame kid. I like him. He can help the run defense. Got a kicker clearly in Cade York. Glad they finally moved off Cody Parkey. Bears fan. Not a Parkey guy. But, yeah. So, what's next for this team? It's a bold prediction of mine that this team's going to make a deep playoff run this upcoming year, 2023. I think they have all the pieces they need to win a Super Bowl. I really do. It's all based on whether or not Deshaun gets back to his Houston form. If Deshaun gets back to his Houston form, I think they can make a deep playoff run. If he's not that, maybe you can make the playoffs as like a 7th seed, but that's about it. I mean, it's a bold prediction of mine. I think I'm going to pick Cincinnati as of right now to win the North again for the 3rd straight year. But Cleveland and Pittsburgh have much weaker schedules. And Cleveland, unlike Pittsburgh, I think has a roster almost as good as Cincinnati's. Obviously, Burrow is a way better quarterback than Watson, but outside of that, I was just saying, I'd take Stefanski over Zach Taylor. I think after watching the offensive line for Cincinnati, I'd take Cleveland's O-line over him. Cincinnati's going to be losing some defensive players. Cleveland's defense may be better. If Cincinnati loses T. Higgins, I think wide receiver-wise, it's about even. Wide receiver / tight end group, it's about even. And Browns have a better run game. It wouldn't shock me. Don't think it's going to happen, not betting on that, but it wouldn't shock me. I truly think this team could contend for a Super Bowl next year. It sounds crazy, I know. In the AFC, the Tire Fire Browns against juggernaut Kansas City and in-division rival Cincinnati and upstate New York Buffalo Bills and Miami and Baltimore if they keep Lamar and Pittsburgh coming about with Pickett and all these other teams I'm not even going to go into. Herbert, Broncos, Trevor Lawrence and the Jags. So yeah, that's my overall thought. Season went about as a lot of people expected. Not a lot of people like the Browns. I don't know what to make of it, but I do. I like where this team's going, believe it or not. Off the field, maybe not. But on the field, that's what we're talking about here. I like the direction they're headed. That's going to wrap it up for this video, guys. More content throughout the week. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and see ya.